X, your first half playing the defensive end, you were battling down low. You weren't giving Youngstown State's big men an inch to breathe. And then in the second half, you seemed like you were determined to score, like no one was going to get into your way. What was your mindset going into the second half with your ability to score as you ended up with 20 points?
Just do my job and consistently just keep going, man. Like in these type of games, if you can just keep going, no matter what happens to you, 9 times out of 10, good stuff happens. And, lucky for us, we had more good stuff happen to us than bad. So, that's the way it goes. And, my teammates picked me up when, I was struggling early on. And, just having my back. Having my back, keep going, letting all the negativity go away and just keep playing hard.
And Youngstown likes to trap and press a lot. How do you guys prepare for that and overcome that in the game?
They want to speed you up. They want to, force you into uncomfortable positions on the court, like the corners or whatnot. We just can't let them speed us up. Take our time, see what we got, pick their defense apart, score the ball. It sounds easy when I say it like that, but I think our guys did a good job of adjusting early on, and luckily for us, they got out of it when we start putting the ball in the hole.
Xavier, back-to-back home wins now for you guys. How important is that now, especially late in the year, to get things rolling into the tournament?
Last night, this game was the most important game of the year. And after today, the next game is the most important game of the year. Our mindset right now is just keep winning in February, and that's what I think we're doing a good job of. These 2 wins back-to-back are good. I'm happy we have it. We just got to use it as momentum, into the next 2 games. And then, Milwaukee's coming in here Thursday. That's the most important game of the year. So we're going to take care of business like we did tonight and keep it going after that.
Go ahead. This is the third game in a row for this starting lineup. Do you feel that you guys are starting to get a cohesiveness together with the guys on the floor?
Most definitely. February, we've had many lineups. I think this lineup is very good for us because, I think it's our most aggressive, I would say. These guys know what they're capable of doing. They're just willing to do their job. And when you have a team that's willing to do their job like this team, good things can happen. And this lineup's doing something really special.
It seemed like tonight your mindset defensively as a team was stand your ground, make sure that they're not going to get to the paint. When they got the ball into the post, you guys did a great job of making sure that they didn't find their shooters on the outside. So prior to this game, what did you guys really focus on defensively with Youngstown State? Because it seemed like you guys just had that mental edge, that mental toughness that was the difference between you and them.
Well, when we're going through the scout or we're going through the game prep, one of the things we noticed is we played very hard against them when we played in Ohio. So we just try to bring that mentality back, play hard, do our job, help one another out. And I think we did that. I think tonight we went out there, we had each other's backs, and we rebounded very good early on. And I think those type of teams that, shoot the ball as well as they can and have rebounders, you got to take an extra notice. You have to actually put an extra emphasis on rebounding and making sure they don't get wide open threes, because if you don't, like you see at the end of the game, they can quickly go up. But I think we handled that very perfectly. I think we pulled it out. These games that we win in, they're not going to be perfect. Mistakes are going to be made, and luckily for us, we made less mistakes than they did, and we pulled it out.
You hit the floor pretty hard at the end and got tangled up. How's the leg feeling?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. You should ask him. You should ask the other guys how they feeling.
Any other questions for X? Thank you, Xavier.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. I don't know why everything's got to be so hard all the time, we've got 18, 20-point lead, and then they start throwing shots in from everywhere, and it seems like we've seen that a lot this year. So I'm glad that we persevered. I thought that we played, other than the first 3 minutes of the game, I thought we were really good tonight, really, really good. High-level basketball tonight. I don't think it was, we got lucky and the other team played bad and, we're a 3-win, 4-win league team or whatever we are, and we got lucky. I thought we played at a very high level the whole game. They had a couple spurts, but they're the third-place team in this league now. And, we have a 20-point lead on them in the last 10 minutes of the game. You had to play well to do that, and I thought that we were in all the phases of the game. And I haven't been able to say that much this year. I thought in all phases They did get 21 offensive rebounds, but that's who they are. I just think we played good. We guarded. We played good offense. X was a beast the last 7-8 minutes of the game. You know, when we have folded in other games, you know, we've had a lot of games where we've had the lead with 10 minutes to go and end up losing. And X just was a beast, and they had no chance to come back. And Rashad really helps us out there, too, because they got to guard him, and they can't do some of the stuff the other teams were doing earlier in the year. And then it was great to see Kangu finally have a smile on his face and make some shots. You know, we made 2 in a row. First time all year he's made 2 in a row, and I don't think he didn't know that, and the bench didn't know it, and everybody. And we're just really happy for him that maybe now he can become the 40-some% three-point shooter that we recruited.
Camp, what about I talked about on the broadcast, at one point they had 18 offensive rebounds, we're shooting 32% from the floor. I mean, you have to defend to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, and a lot of their offensive rebounds today weren't putbacks. You know, what happened, a lot of that's who they are. You know, they're big and athletic and long, and Bohannon's a monster. Yeah. And a lot of their rebounds led to other possessions but didn't lead to layups. You know, a lot of times offensive rebound, lay it in. And today they just missed, you know, we made them make tough shots. The shots that were missed clanged and went high in the air, and they just out-athleted us to the ball. And that's going to happen, and then you got to dig in and fight and guard, and we did. And we didn't let some bad things that happened. Our body language was great. I thought the crowd was great. You know, it's not the typical February crowds, but we're not the typical team fighting for championship either, so I get it. But the crowd, the people that were here were great. And I thought our kids just, you know, we didn't look like the Oakland earlier in the year when we folded down the stretch when things went bad. Things went bad, we took it in the chest, we got up and we played. And it's a good win, 2 in a row for us when we hadn't done that since November, and 2 more home games next week with a chance to, you know, to add on to what we're doing.
What about that time when the 3-guard, when you had the 3-guard rotation out there on the floor with Trey and Rashad and Kangu in the second half? You had that out there for a couple of minutes. It really seemed to work well.
You know, Blake is struggling right now. He's hit that freshman wall. He doesn't believe in himself shooting the ball, and so I'm not going to play him. You know, he can shoot it. He can shoot 20 times, miss all 20 of them. I'm going to play him. He turned down 2 shots today, and he's telling me, you don't believe you're going to make shots. I can't have you out there. So they probably played a little bit longer together than they normally would, and we were playing good, so I wasn't going to reach down the bench and put somebody else in when we're playing that good. You know, it's February. We got to win. 2 nights ago, we played a lot more guys, a lot more minutes because of the way the game went. You know, the one guy I haven't talked about today is Trey. You know, I thought at Wright State, Trey played his best half of basketball that he's played as an Oakland basketball player. Tonight, I think he played his best game as an Oakland basketball player. But as I said that night, what Trey are we going to get? You know, we get the focused in the game. I'm a hell of a player, Trey. We're pretty good. And when we get to Trey, he played 15 minutes, and you know, somebody else is going to get a lot of minutes. I'm just trying to work with him and teach and stay on top of him and be who I am as a coach and the guy that recruited him, and he knew what he was getting into when he came here. And I'm going to stay that guy, and, man, it's awful good to see him play like he did today. I mean, don't forget earlier in the year, we were trying to make Trey our first option, and now, you know, you got X, you got Rashad, and now he's, you know, a lot of the focus is on those guys, and Trey can go do some stuff. He's getting to the rim, he's getting to the free throw line, you know, he's making plays, you back off him. I'll tell you, he did 2 things tonight that warmed my heart, because you mean you're actually listening, all right? Late clock, instead of putting it through his legs and shaking and then taking a step back 30-footer that he'll make 1 out of every 10 times, he shook, shot faked, and got to the line and had a 1-and-1 there in the half, which is what we want. He's good. He's 6'5", long and athletic. Go to the rim, get to the free throw line, do those things. That's the first time he's ever done that. Normally he's shaking and shooting. And I've been up his whatever I can say on this show all year about that kind of stuff, and he did it. And he got fouled, and he got to the line. And then late in the game, they ran an inbounds play, and he actually read the play, and he didn't get the steal, but he screwed their play up because he read that they were going to do something, and he got there, and he took away what they were trying to do, and I'd never seen him do that before. It's the first time I've ever seen, 2 years, first time I've ever seen him, instead of reacting to what's going on, be ahead of the play and see what's going on and then go be a great player and make plays. And again, I'm going to say, and I know Trey really well. He's probably going to go home and listen to this. So, Trey, I know you're listening, okay? If you can play like you did tonight, this team's got a chance. If you can stay focused and do the things that you did tonight, you were a hell of a player for Oakland University tonight, Trey.
Talk a little bit more about Kevin and the way he played tonight. It seemed like he was a different player, had a lot of confidence.
Well, he went in early, and against the press, he did something really stupid, and I got mad and yanked him. And I told him, I'm done. I'm done. We're 20-some games into this thing, and you're going to continue to make the same play? When we've spent the whole week in practice, all you have to do is catch that reversal pass and right up the sideline. Rashad is wide open and going to bury a three, and then they're going to get out of the press. And you can't do that, so I'm done with you. 2 minutes later, I put him back in, and for some reason, I don't know why, he was really good the rest of the game. He did what we do in practice. He's pretty good in practice. He's a shot maker in practice. And when the second one in a row went in, I think the whole world, all the pressure that he puts on himself went away. There was a timeout after it, and the kids on the bench were hugging him, and we couldn't even talk in the timeout because everybody's so happy for him. Kevin Kang is one of the nicest kids I've ever had on my team. And he's a very hard worker, and to see success like that made everybody happy.
Coach, with the addition of Williams, even though he's with the team, but he became eligible in the second half of the season, does him on the floor with his ability to make three-point shots, does that open it up for X, Trey, and Kango? Does it really make your team that much different offensively? Because with him, you had 4 players with double digits today. They are efficient in shooting from the floor. It just seemed like the offense was very smooth today.
It's probably the best offense we've had, and it's getting better with Rashad as we learn. You know, I learn what to do with him, but also we're a set team. We run a lot of plays and sets, and we got to put new ones in, and you got to play them. You got to practice. There's reads on all those sets, and so you got to do it 10 times and see how teams play it to understand the reads. And it's starting to come to fruition now. We're starting to, this is his 8th or 9th game, and early in the year, when you watched us play Youngstown, every time Xavier touched the basketball, he got doubled. He got doubled 1 time tonight, and Brad got a dunk. The reason you can't double him is Rashad. Because if you're going to double him, Rashad is going to end up with a wide open shot. That's how Lampman got all his minutes early in the year, but you're talking about a freshman versus a sniper like Rashad. Now, I hope there's a day that Lampman's like that. I hope that in the next 2-3 years that Lampman is a guy that if you leave him, it's in. Right now, he's capable of doing that, but he's a freshman who's mentally fried right now. And it's my job to get him back. We need him. We need Lampman being a sniper back because you put 2 of them out there. Ooh.
Coach, Darius Slay from the Detroit Lions was at the game today, sitting courtside. Are you sad that you didn't get a chance to sit down and talk with them about corner covering techniques as an old cornerback yourself in college football?
Well,
you could have taught him a few things, right?
I was a short side corner, which he wouldn't know what that is. Because back in the day, the hash marks were a lot wider. So they ran the ball into the short side, so you put your toughest guy on the short side. And I didn't get a lot of passes, back in those days. That was the days of Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes. Nobody threw the ball like they do today. And I didn't have a fancy nickname like Big Play Slay or whatever like that. I think I was seasoned fries Greg or something. So, no, I didn't know he was here. That's great to hear. You know, I miss all the Pistons being here and all. You know, it used to be when they were out here, we'd have them all at games and stuff like that, and they used to practice here. And you know, when Isaiah Thomas and those guys were always around at games. I mean, we had LeBron saw us play twice, so that's kind of fun when they're here. I hope he liked it well enough that he wants to come back.
You have any questions for Coach?
One more, if it's okay. Coach, defensively, you talked a lot about offense. You talked a lot about how, you know, Trey set the tone, in my opinion.
7 assists, 1 turnover.
Yes.
He's never had a stat line like that. I'm telling you, this is his best 38 minutes or 39 or whatever he played, 38 minutes that he's played in his career at Oakland University.
Yes, but just watching him in the first half defensively, I know there was 2 times where you were a little bit upset with the rotations and they got the ball inside. But other than that, defensively, they were grinding. I mean, you had X in the block in the first half, just basically shutting down Youngstown's best big man. I know Brad put some good minutes in as well today, and I know I asked X the same question, but going into practice, even though you had a short turnaround from Cleveland State, was there anything a little bit different that you emphasized defensively this game?
We've lived what success we have had this year has been on our defense. And Trey is an elite defender. And I think that Kangu at times can be one, and I think that Oladapo at times can be elite defender. I thought X really did a great job on Bohannon today. X is not known as an elite defender, and yet he played that role. One of the keys in this game was to keep the ball out of the paint. We wanted to keep the ball out of the paint, make them shoot from way out, and hopefully that would help us with the rebounding. And I think the guys, you know, the game opened 11-6, and about 6 minutes later they had 13. And we had 8 straight stops. You don't get that very often in a basketball game. So I have to be really pleased with our defensive effort. As far as the prep goes, it's league play. We know Youngstown. Doesn't have to be a lot of prep. We've played them so many times that everybody knows everybody. It's more reminders, what's on the board, and talk about it. And we only practiced an hour yesterday. So.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you, guys.